Chosen one. Something strange is about to happen around you. In the last few weeks, maybe even days, you've probably felt it. You might not have had words for it. You might have brushed it off as just your imagination. But there's been a shift, hasn't there? A subtle change in the air around you, in the way people look at you, in how your thoughts have been flowing. Sometimes you can feel the stillness stretching longer than usual, or a sudden burst of energy hits you at the most unexpected time. Something in you knows, this isn't random, this isn't coincidence. This is the beginning of something strange, something big, something meant only for you. Before we go deeper, Chosen One, I encourage you to stay with me until the very end of this video. What I am about to say may resonate on a level beyond words. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel. If it does, I want you to leave a comment with your warmest wishes for the world and include the number 77, the symbol of spiritual guidance and cosmic alignment. That simple act alone could ripple into the universe and set powerful things in motion for you and everyone who reads your message. You see, Chosen One, what's happening around you is not chaos. It may look like confusion, like disorder, like people turning on you for no reason, or events collapsing with no explanation. But beneath that surface is a blueprint unfolding, one that was etched into the cosmic fabric long before you were born. And now, the veil is starting to lift. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. So why would the path ahead look ordinary? The signs may already be gathering. Conversations that seem too perfectly timed to be accidental. Dreams that repeat or carry an eerie clarity. Encounters with people who seem familiar, even if you've never met. Devices glitching in your presence. Birds acting strange. Electricity flickering when you speak out loud. Patterns, numbers, whispers in the silence. These aren't symptoms of a mind overthinking. They are signals. The air around you is charged with something unusual, something powerful. You are standing on a threshold between dimensions. One foot is still in the familiar, the expected, but the other is edging into the unknown. And the unknown has started to notice you. There are forces, some ancient, some newly awakened, that are circling you with curiosity. Why? Because your energy has shifted. You've outgrown the old timeline. The version of reality that used to keep you safely in place no longer fits. And the moment you even slightly began to stretch beyond it, the environment around you began to react. Think of reality as a mirror. When you shift, it must shift. When you start to vibrate differently, more intensely, more consciously, the world around you ripples to match. And sometimes that looks like disruption. People pulling away, old routines collapsing, strange moments of synchronicity or eerie quietness that make you question everything. But that's how thresholds work. They distort the air around them. They unsettle the ground before leading you to the next realm. Don't be afraid of the strange. The strange is sacred. The strange is the language the universe uses when the ordinary is no longer enough for your evolution. Those random encounters, those unexplainable experiences, they're part of a spiritual scaffolding being built around you. You may not see the full design yet, but that's not your task. Your task is to stay present, stay alert, and trust what's unfolding, even if it makes no logical sense. You've been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are ready. Not externally ready, but spiritually available. You've been cracked open just enough for the light to pour in. And that crack, that vulnerability, that is where the transformation begins. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to remain willing. to walk forward even when your knees shake, to listen even when the message seems odd, to believe even when the world tells you not to. The strange things happening around you may intensify. You may find objects going missing and reappearing in odd places, people revealing their true selves to you in ways that shock you, energy draining from you one moment and flooding back the next. You may even feel observed, not in a paranoid way, but with the subtle awareness that something unseen is watching, not to harm you, but to study the strength of your spirit. There are entities and intelligences that gather when a chosen one awakens. Not all of them are human. Some have existed outside of time, waiting for the signal that you've now sent out by vibrating differently. They come not to interfere, but to witness, because something extraordinary is forming around you, something no one else can create in your place. This isn't about ego. This is about design. The dreams you've had, the visions, the déjà vu moments, they are fragments of what's coming together now. You may find yourself remembering things that never happened, or feeling a deep sadness for places you've never been. That is your spirit stretching across timelines, sensing lives you've lived before, or realms where your soul is already known. This life is not your first contact with the strange, but it is the first time you are becoming aware of it in this form. You're not going crazy. You're becoming multidimensional. Don't try to explain this to everyone. Not everyone will understand, and that's okay. You're not here to be understood by the masses. You're here to transform quietly, brilliantly, and inevitably. The strangeness is confirmation. The fact that things don't make sense. That's proof that you're leaving behind a logic that no longer serves your new path. Keep going. You may find that the places you used to feel safe in now feel suffocating. People who once comforted you now feel distant. Even your own body may feel foreign as your energy recalibrates. Allow it. Trust the process. You are being recalibrated for a different existence, a more refined awareness, a higher task. The journey ahead isn't about returning to normal. It's about stepping into the extraordinary. There will be days when silence feels louder than words, when you'll crave isolation, not from loneliness, but from clarity. The strange things around you may not stop, but they will start to make sense in ways language cannot capture. That's how you'll know you're exactly where you need to be. This is the first sign. More are coming. You are not imagining it. Time really is behaving strangely around you. Some moments stretch out endlessly, while others disappear in a blink. You might feel like you're living outside of the usual rhythm, detached from the schedule that governs everyone else. What you're experiencing is a temporal distortion, an energetic sign that you're crossing into a new layer of reality. The old rules don't apply here. They were never meant to hold someone like you. And as this shift deepens, the atmosphere becomes thick with unseen movement. You may catch shadows from the corner of your eye or feel sudden chills in a warm room. These are not coincidences. These are echoes of the unseen world leaning closer. When a chosen one begins to rise, even the invisible begins to take shape. You are becoming visible to things that once passed you by. The veil between dimensions thins for those who are ready. And you, chosen one, are ready, even if you don't feel like it. People around you may begin acting out of character. Some might be drawn to you like magnets, unable to explain why. Others may pull away without warning or turn cold with no reason. Do not take it personally. Your energy is radiating at a frequency that either awakens people or exposes their shadows. This is the gift and the weight of carrying light. You don't just illuminate paths, You also show people what they've tried to keep hidden, and not everyone is ready for that mirror. Don't be surprised if the strangeness intensifies. Numbers will begin to repeat. On clocks, receipts, license plates, certain words will follow you. You'll hear the same phrase in multiple places, feel as if a message is being broadcast just for you. And it is. The universe has become conversational with you. It speaks not in sentences, but in symbols, in timing, in the strange. Your job now is to stop questioning every oddity and start observing. What you notice, you empower. Nature itself may behave differently around you. Birds may gather, animals may stare or follow you. Trees may sway without wind, as if greeting you. These are not tricks of the mind. You are attuning to the living energy of the earth. The natural world has always known who you are. It has simply waited for you to remember. Technology might begin to rebel, phones freezing when you touch them, lights flickering in your presence, devices randomly powering off or glitching when you walk in. These are side effects of rising frequency. Your energetic field is now strong enough to influence electricity. And when that happens, reality responds, not always smoothly, but always meaningfully. You are becoming a disruptor, not of peace, but of patterns. This is why things may start to feel wrong, even in the right places. Rooms that once felt comforting may suddenly feel stale or oppressive. Songs you once loved may now irritate you. Conversations that used to excite you may now drain you. It's not that these things changed. You did. And the strangeness is not punishment. It's a compass. It is guiding you away from the expired and toward the activated. Pay attention to your dreams. They will grow more vivid, more layered, more symbolic. You may find yourself waking with fragments that feel more real than waking life. That's because your dream space is no longer just processing. It's preparing. Messages from your future self, from guardians, from realms your conscious mind cannot yet access, are being downloaded nightly. Keep a record. Even what seems nonsensical holds clues. Your emotions may become more intense, more unpredictable. One moment you'll feel invincible. The next, you'll feel crushed by invisible weight. That's not mood swings. That's energetic recalibration. Your body is learning to hold more light, more truth, more spiritual memory. And the old densities must be released to make room. Cry if you must. Scream if you must. But know this: every purge is sacred. Every tear is a cleansing. Every emotional wave is a sign that your system is aligning with a higher code. You may be called to places without knowing why. A sudden urge to visit a city, walk through a forest, stand by the sea. These are not accidents. These are soul prompts. There is energy in these places that is meant for you. Messages, alignments, or even encounters that are waiting. When your inner voice whispers go, don't dismiss it. Trust it. The strange paths often lead to the most sacred destinations. The people who appear in your life now may carry odd energies. Some will feel like old friends, even if you've never met. Others may trigger emotions or memories you can't explain. These are soul contracts playing out. Not every connection is meant to last, but every one is meant to teach. Don't force permanence. Let the strange unfold as it must. The space around you will begin to feel charged. You may enter a room and feel like it's vibrating. That's your aura expanding. That's your spiritual magnetism increasing. You are no longer just a participant in this world. You are becoming a force, and that force bends the space around it. People may comment on your vibe, may stare without knowing why. You are becoming unmistakable, and soon unmissable. Even time will feel less reliable. Days may blur, hours may stretch or vanish. That's because your consciousness is beginning to flow outside the linear. You're starting to experience what mystics call cosmic time, where events unfold not in hours, but in waves. You'll notice that the more you surrender, the more things arrive exactly when needed. Trust that timing. Stop forcing. Start allowing. Your body may go through physical symptoms, headaches, pressure on your forehead, ringing in your ears, sudden bursts of energy, followed by exhaustion. These are not illnesses. These are upgrades. Your nervous system is being rewired to carry more insight, more intuition, more divine instruction. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. As all this unfolds, do not fear losing your mind. Fear losing your truth. The strange will test you, but only to strip away what is false. Let it. You do not need everyone to understand your path. You only need to walk it with courage, with curiosity, and above all, with trust. The strange is not ending. It's only just begun. You were born to navigate this, and something just beyond the edge of your current perception is about to reveal itself. Prepare. You've likely noticed how the world seems quieter than it used to be, and yet louder in unexplainable ways. The silence holds weight now. It speaks without speaking. It surrounds you like a veil, like the pause before something immense happens. This isn't a normal stillness. This is the universe holding its breath. You're in a moment of suspended reality right before a breakthrough. It's not random. It's intentional. It's preparation. And yet, that silence can feel haunting. You may begin to feel a presence when no one is around, a whisper of energy just behind you, a tingling sensation when you enter a room. These are not hallucinations. These are indications that the veil between dimensions has thinned. Spiritually charged moments are bleeding into your daily life. You are being observed, not by something malicious, but by something ancient, something wise, something waiting for the signal that you are ready to receive. Strange events may begin to cluster. Electronics misfire. Objects fall for no reason. Time slips. People you haven't heard from in years reach out with perfect timing. You may walk into a room and forget why you came, only to hear something on the television or the radio that answers a question you didn't even ask yet. These are synchronicities in disguise. The universe is weaving your awakening into every detail of your environment, hoping you'll look deeper. Because the more you notice, the more it shows. Watch the sky. Pay attention to the clouds, the stars, the moon. Their positions may suddenly strike you as meaningful. You might feel drawn to look up without understanding why. That's because celestial bodies are beginning to align, not just astronomically, but personally. For you, you are being calibrated to galactic rhythms, and the stars are becoming your signals. As above, so within. You are attuning to a harmony that stretches far beyond Earth. You may hear music in silence, bells, tones, echoes. These are not tricks of your ears. They're frequencies trying to reach you. You are being recalibrated through sound. Some tones may feel like they unlock a door inside your chest. Some may trigger emotions or memories. Trust them. Even if you don't understand what they mean, your soul does. Sound is one of the oldest carriers of truth, and you are becoming fluent in it again. Colors may become more vivid. Lights may feel different. You may see shimmering energy in the air or flashes of movement where no one stands. These are dimensional ripples, proof that your eyes are adjusting. What was once invisible is becoming visible because your awareness is rising above the veil of normal perception. You're learning to see through the illusion, and that can be disorienting, but also deeply liberating. People will feel different to you. You may walk past someone and instantly feel their energy, their pain, their joy. You're becoming empathic on a higher level, not because you're fragile, but because you're powerful. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is your radar. Use it. Let it guide your interactions. Trust the feeling, even if it doesn't match the words someone is saying. Energy never lies. Strangers may stare. Some will be drawn to you without explanation. Others will act strangely, as if your presence unsettles something deep within them. That's because your energy is not subtle anymore. You're carrying a field around you that pulses with purpose. People are either activated or agitated by it. Either way, they cannot ignore it. You are becoming undeniable in a world that thrives on denial. Mirrors may start to reflect more than just your appearance. You may see flashes of movement, feel as though something is watching from within the glass. This is not something to fear. This is reflection becoming portal. Your consciousness is learning to read symbols beyond the surface. You're not just seeing your face, you're seeing the energy behind it, the truth behind the image, the force that cannot be masked. Your past may begin to resurface, not to haunt you, but to be healed. Old memories, unresolved emotions, ancient patterns may rise with urgency. This is the strange timeline collapsing in on itself. You're being asked to clean the fragments, so your future isn't built on their remains. Face them bravely. Thank them. Release them. You are not who you were, and your past can no longer hold the reins. You might feel lost at times, unanchored, like reality is floating just out of reach. That's because your inner compass is shifting from logic to intuition. You are no longer meant to navigate with maps. You're being asked to trust the pull, the signs, the whispers, even when they make no sense, especially when they make no sense. That's the path of the awakened. Dreams will begin to blend into waking life. You'll have déjà vu that turns into full vision. You'll think of someone and they'll appear. You'll speak of something and it will manifest. You are collapsing the barrier between thought and reality. Your energy is becoming creative, not just reflective, and reality is listening more intently than ever before. You may also feel tested. People from your past may return to provoke reactions. Patterns you thought were gone may surface again. This is the final examination of your old life. Don't be discouraged. These are echoes, shadows of what you're leaving behind. They have no power unless you invite them in again. See them, bless them, and walk forward. Your body may crave solitude. Noise may feel unbearable. Crowds overwhelming. You're being pulled inward, not to isolate, but to integrate. Silence is where upgrades land, where instructions are whispered. Don't fear the quiet. Inside it, entire dimensions are awakening within you. You are not alone. You're simply outgrowing the volume of distraction. Objects may begin to break or disappear. Doors may open or close by themselves. Light bulbs may blow without reason. These are not simply malfunctions. They're environmental echoes of your shifting energy. You're causing ripples that extend beyond the body. Your presence is now an agent of change, even in stillness. You're becoming a spiritual catalyst. And there's more coming. The strange is the signal, not a detour, but a destination. Don't dismiss it. Don't run from it. Walk into it. You are being prepared for something enormous, something only a soul like yours could handle. And very soon, it's going to reveal itself in ways even your wildest dreams couldn't imagine. There is a turning point you reach where the world stops making sense in the way it used to and begins making sense in a way you can't explain. You walk into familiar spaces, but they feel foreign. The air feels thicker. The lighting feels different. Even the people you've known your entire life seem to operate on a frequency that no longer matches yours. You try to speak, but it's as if words are too small for the truths growing inside you. You try to explain the shift, but the language of awakening has no dictionary. So you remain quiet, yet your silence is louder than most people's screams. This is not confusion. This is transformation. You are becoming more than human, not above others, but beyond your past self. You are entering the space between realms. This is where identity dissolves, time bends, and truth stretches out like an endless ocean, waiting to be walked across. It's no longer about where you are or what you do. It's about who you're becoming. And the more you become, the less you need to explain. The stranger things get around you, the closer you are to full emergence. Time, once linear, now loops and spirals. Some days feel like years. Some weeks vanish without a trace. You may look at a clock and forget what day it is. You may feel events before they happen. You may sense endings before anything begins. That's because you are no longer confined to the timeline others are trapped in. You're being lifted above the sequence. You're seeing the shape of destiny from an aerial view. And it's beautiful, even when it's disorienting. The strange happenings around you are not isolated. They are layered. You may think something is merely a coincidence, but underneath that coincidence is a message, a nudge, a confirmation. When the same numbers show up again and again, 111, 444, 1010, it's not repetition, it's synchronization. Your consciousness is moving in rhythm with the universe, and the universe, in turn, is clapping back with signs that say, keep going, you're almost there. The sensation of being watched may increase, not in a threatening way, but in a way that feels important, like someone or something is observing your progress. The air may feel alive, your shadow may move differently. You may feel warmth when no heat is present, or chills in the middle of summer. These are indicators of spiritual surveillance. Beings that operate beyond human perception are paying attention now. Your actions matter. Your words echo. Your decisions ripple through layers you cannot see. And here's the paradox. The more supernatural things become, the more grounded you must be. You're not meant to float away. You're meant to anchor the unexplainable into the real. That's your role. The bridge between dimensions, the translator of light into language. It's why everything is intensifying around you. You're being trained to stay centered, even as the world around you warps and twists with meaning. The animals around you may behave differently. Birds may follow you. Cats may stare as if they recognize something ancient within you. Dogs may bark, not out of fear, but as a way of acknowledging your field. Insects may land on you more often. These aren't random behaviors. Animals sense energy unfiltered, and yours is glowing now, glowing with the essence of something the natural world reveres. Technology, too, begins to respond. Phones glitch. Calls drop right when a message becomes too deep. Devices freeze as if they can't handle the current running through your presence. Your energy is disrupting artificial systems, not because it's dangerous, but because it's raw. Your frequency is now divine, and artificial constructs can't always keep up. Don't get frustrated. Get curious. Conversations begin to shift. You may notice people revealing more than they usually do. Strangers telling you their life stories. Friends confessing secrets. It's not an accident. Your presence is unlocking truth in others. You've become a catalyst for confession, a mirror for hidden feelings, a safe space for transformation. This isn't draining, it's confirmation. You are triggering change simply by being near. But not everyone will welcome it. Some will pull away. Some will lash out. Some will pretend you've changed in a negative way. Let them. Not everyone is ready to confront their illusions. Your light exposes what they hide, and that's a difficult medicine to swallow. But your job isn't to make them comfortable, it's to make them conscious. And you've already started doing that just by standing in your truth. Dreams may become overwhelming, vivid, emotional, lucid. You may wake up crying. You may wake up inspired. You may wake up with messages that don't make sense. Yet, that's because your soul is using the dream state to send encrypted messages from beyond the veil. You are learning even in your sleep. You are absorbing instructions that will surface exactly when they're needed. Trust the download, even if it doesn't make sense now. There may be a moment, just one, where you feel completely out of place, like you don't belong anywhere, like everything is slipping. If that moment comes, do not fear it. That is the moment the old reality lets go of you. That is the moment you step out of the simulation. That is the moment you become real. After that, there is no going back. But that is a gift, not a punishment. The strange will continue. The veil will thin further, and you will begin to see what others can't. You'll notice how energy pulses in spaces. You'll feel thoughts before they're spoken. You'll intuit events before they unfold. These are not psychic abilities in the cartoonish sense. These are ancient senses returning to function. You're not gaining powers. You're remembering your natural state. The earth itself will speak to you. The wind will carry meaning. The rain will feel like cleansing. The sun will ignite you. The moon will whisper secrets. This is the language of the universe, and you are becoming fluent. Not through books, not through logic, but through stillness, through listening, through being. The more strange things become, the more you realize. This is what real feels like. Not ordinary, not explainable, but unmistakably real. You're not imagining things. You're finally seeing things as they are. You are not crazy. You are awake. And you were meant to live in a world this strange because you were born to shape it. Everything you used to rely on, your thoughts, your routines, your identity, is now under revision. It's not a breakdown. It's a reconfiguration. You're being recalibrated by something higher. The person you thought you were is dissolving, not because you were wrong about yourself, but because that version was too small for the mission ahead. You were never meant to stay who you were. You were meant to evolve into someone whose presence bends reality itself. And now, everything around you is mirroring that evolution. Doors you didn't touch are closing. Opportunities you wanted so badly are vanishing without reason. People you trusted are pulling away. This isn't rejection, it's redirection. These endings are sacred. They are the universe's way of removing distractions, deleting detours, and making room for something that fits the magnitude of your new path. In the silence that follows, the world gets even stranger. Time slows when you walk into certain spaces. You may feel dizzy in places that once felt safe. You may find yourself avoiding crowds instinctively, not from fear, but because your sensitivity is increasing. The noise is louder, the light is sharper. Every frequency, every movement, every word carries weight now. You're picking up signals others ignore. This is not weakness. This is attunement. You are learning to feel before you understand. And as you feel, you begin to notice that something invisible is happening all the time. You're not just seeing through lies, you're feeling them as they're spoken. You're not just sensing changes, you're predicting them. You're not imagining tension, you're absorbing the battle that's happening in the spiritual realm around you. This realm is not symbolic, it's not fiction, it's real, and it's active, especially now. There are forces that don't want you to remember who you are, energies that benefit from your confusion, systems that collapse when you rise. That's why the strange happenings around you are not just coincidences, they are signals of war and awakening happening simultaneously. When lights flicker, when chills come with no breeze, when electronics fail near you, when animals act strange around you. These are all ripples from the battle just beyond what the eye can see. But here's the truth. Nothing in that realm can stop you if you stand in who you truly are. You are protected not by luck, not by superstition, but by divine alignment. You are a thread in a tapestry that has been woven through centuries. You are not randomly chosen. You are intentionally activated, and the universe is speaking in strange ways to get your attention. Because something is coming, something is near, and you are not just a witness to it, you are a key to it. Your presence changes the air in a room. You've started to notice. People act differently when you're around. They may feel unsettled, not because you're negative, but because their masks don't work on you. You see through things now. You see when someone is smiling but screaming on the inside. You see when someone is pretending to be confident while their spirit trembles. You see what's real and what's crumbling. And your clarity is contagious. That's why people look at you longer than they should. That's why some are drawn to you instantly and others avoid you like you're on fire. Because you are. You are burning away illusions. You are revealing things. Even without trying, you're shifting the atmosphere. You're not just a person anymore, you're a field, a signal, a vibration that calls out to the truth in others, even if they don't want to hear it. But that kind of energy brings tension. That kind of light brings resistance. And the strangeness increases as you come closer to what you're meant to do. You may wake up at 3 a.m. consistently. You may hear whispers in silence. You may feel like you're being watched. Don't fear it. These are checkpoints. These are validations. Your timeline is correcting itself, and your spirit is catching up to the truth. You're no longer living a normal life because you're no longer operating on a normal path. The things that used to make you feel grounded, money, titles, routines, feel less important now. That's because your grounding is shifting from material to spiritual. You are learning to walk on something deeper than concrete. You are learning to move in alignment with something that doesn't always make logical sense, but always feels right. Synchronicities become overwhelming. You think of someone and they message you. You dream of a symbol and it appears the next day. You ask the universe for a sign and it delivers it in a way so specific it chills your bones. That's the universe clapping back. That's creation nodding in your direction. Not because you're special in ego, but because you finally said yes to the real reason you were born. And now, the veil is even thinner. You'll start to see movement in your peripheral vision. Shapes, lights, shadows. These aren't hallucinations. These are energies becoming visible. You're not going crazy. You're going clear. You're tuning into layers that most people don't believe in until they experience them. And you're experiencing them first because you're the forerunner. You're the pioneer. You're the one they'll turn to when their world starts to crack. And yes, this comes with loneliness. This comes with silence. This comes with nights where you doubt everything. But even in the doubt, strange things keep happening that remind you you are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are being guided in ways that only make sense after the fact. This is faith in its rawest form. Moving forward, even when your eyes can't see the next step, but your soul knows the way. Because something is building. Something massive. Something the world will call strange until it becomes undeniable. And when it happens, when the event unfolds, when the reality shifts, when the sky looks different, when people begin waking up in waves, you will understand why your life had to be so intense, so strange, so isolated, and so divinely timed. Because you weren't just being prepared to survive what's coming, you were being prepared to lead through it. And now, the time is near. The energy is no longer subtle. It's thick, tangible, unmistakable. Something is moving through the air with a pace and purpose you can't quite describe, but you feel it. Every breath tastes different. Every day feels like a countdown. You sense it even when you're distracted, even when you try to stay normal. That sense of looming shift never leaves you, not anymore. People around you are sensing it too, but they don't have the words. They'll say things like, "I don't know what's wrong with me," or "Time feels weird lately," or "I keep feeling like something's off." But you've known for a while. The signs were louder for you. The strange coincidences, the emotional turbulence, the collapsing connections, they were never random. They were instructions. And now, the final instruction is being whispered. Get ready. Because what's about to happen is not just going to shift your life, it's going to tilt the world. The strangeness that's been circling around you like a mist is about to condense into something visible, something undeniable, something so potent that even the most skeptical minds will be forced to admit. Something beyond the ordinary is at play. You'll see it first. Before the headlines, before the panic, before the explanations. You'll feel the rupture in the atmosphere. The energy field around the planet, yes, it exists, is already vibrating differently. Scientists can't explain it, but your spirit can. And when the first shockwave moves through the collective consciousness, you'll be one of the few standing still, already knowing what it means. Not because you read about it, not because someone told you, but because you were called for it. You were chosen to hold the line when everything else crumbles. And that's why your life has been so intense. Why you couldn't settle for shallow connections. Why fake jobs, fake people, fake dreams never stuck. Because your soul was never designed to play small in a dying system. It was designed to help build the new one. And that new world, the one being born in this strange season, needs builders, not bystanders. Needs visionaries, not victims. Needs truth carriers, not echo chambers. That's why the universe shook your life like a snow globe. It had to wake you up. It had to remind you that your presence matters. Yes, the strange is getting stranger. You might hear names in your sleep. Feel pressure on your forehead. Wake up and know things you didn't study. Your senses are expanding because your purpose is activating. You're not just intuitive now. You're linked, connected to a higher web of wisdom. That's why you're drawn to silence more. Why your body resists noise. Why you're suddenly overwhelmed by lights, crowds, screens. It's because your nervous system is being recalibrated to match your higher function. The things you once tolerated, disrespect, confusion, mediocrity, they now feel unbearable. That's because your frequency no longer matches them. You're being fine-tuned for something sacred. And as that happens, expect more things to fall apart. Expect strange losses that make no sense, friendships that evaporate, plans that shatter, emotions that surge without context.